You mentioned before, like part of being healthy, having a healthy diet and like sleep and all that. Like we could probably do a whole podcast on sleep and diet, but what would you, or what at the moment? Well, you're not fighting at the moment, but what diet? What's your current healthy diet, if that makes sense?
So first of all, I'll give my opinion on diet in general.
Yeah.
We're all different. I view diet the same way that I view my jiu-jitsu. Like, for example, one guy can eat a heavy carb diet, carbs and meats, right? They can have a heavy diet of carbs and meats, where other guys have to go low carb, where there's other guys where go just straight protein. There's other guys that go keto. Then there's pescatarians, there's vegetarians, there's vegans. You know, there's all these different diets. I think they all work. I think they all have potential to work. What I would recommend to someone is you experiment with what sounds like what would work best for your, like, for you, where you live, like your access to food, your body, you know what I'm saying? Your culture.
I think that's a big thing, the culture, like eating what your ancestors, like what your body type, what your genetics tell you.
Yeah. Like, for example, I've done low carb, I've done keto, I've done the carb, and then I've experimented with all the diets. I mean, if I'm not, I grew up on a Mediterranean diet. Here's what's really funny. Growing up, my parents had a pizza restaurant, and then my family still does now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm into eating all these, like, different meats, pastas, and pizzas. So, like, I'm used to eating everything. You know what I'm saying? And the only time it really mattered to me was when I was trying to get to, like, a certain weight. You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like what my body operates under the best under is like a diet that has everything, but not so heavy on carbs. But if I want to get super fucking shredded and I want to, like, I have to eat less carbs. You know what I'm saying? When the last time that I cut to 145, which was in 2016, I did it with a ketogenic diet. And then here was something that really blew my mind away too. Like, before that, my testosterone was really low. And I was like, all right, let's see what this can do to my test too. And we really focused on going super high fats. Like, I did keto basically for a year straight. And my testosterone shot up to like high 800s with just a heavy ketogenic diet. So, like, when people talk to me like, hey man, I want to naturally increase my testosterone with my diet, I think ketogenic is the best for that. And I actually felt too, for like recovery purposes, with like the least amount of inflammation, that was the best. The only thing that I didn't like cutting to 45, because at the time I felt like I was older, you know, because, man, I started competing at 145 when I was 14 years old. And here I was as like a 30-year-old man, I'm still making 145, you know? I felt that when I cut to that weight class, because like at the time I was walking around I was walking around at 170, 173, cutting to 45, even though I was super strong and I was one of the better guys at my weight, felt like it made me susceptible to injuries. So what I would say to people sometimes, like, yeah, you can make the weight, but like it's not good for your health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the time. Yeah.
Like if you're cutting weight and you're 170 and you drop down to 45, I just feel like you could, you're a little more fragile. Like, for example, when I cut to 55, I never feel fragile.
Yeah. Well,
that's why, like, for me too, that's why I don't cut to 145 anymore. I just feel like where I am in my career, like when I fight, like, yeah, I won't go to 45 anymore.
Yeah.
Not unless there's a stupid amount of money.
Well,
I'll do it for the right amount of money, but it doesn't appear to be there right now.
Yeah. Well, I cut to 145 at the start of the last year before COVID, and yeah.
What did you walk around at?
Probably at 160. It was probably I was 155. That was fine. The first day was 155, and the second day was 145. But I didn't make weight the first day. But the second day, I just made weight and ran straight. And then they called my name, ran straight onto the mat. Didn't have time to even get a drink or like fully tape up my fingers or anything. But it's like, okay, but yeah, definitely felt way weaker there. But like with the ketogenic diet, like high fat and the high cholesterol, that's the building blocks of hormones. So it makes perfect sense why the testosterone went up.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? I was eating less. I was eating less, but I was just, I actually really enjoyed the ketogenic diet.
Yeah,
but it's actually a really fucking expensive diet. You can't like if you go keto, you're gonna spend a lot of money because like the products, they're expensive.
Yeah,
it's not a cheap. I think out of all the diets that I ever fucked with, that was the most expensive. You know why? Because I got into eating the nice cheeses.
Yeah, you get into those cheeses can cost a little. 150 gram cheese would be like $10, $15. It's like, okay. But like go back to the village and eat the halloumi cheese and everything, like just natural, freshly made from the goats that are there. That's
oh
the
man,
best way
I
to
miss
do
that.
it. Yeah.
I miss that. I miss that.